Hi everyone, so today is a big release from Chanel, their spring collection, the Camellia Futura collection. So I've got the eyeshadow quad and I've got the blush trio. Two of the new shades in the Rouge Coco Flash. Two new shades in the 3-in-1 eyeshadow pens. The Fluid Illumineur. And one new shade in the Liquid Rouge Allure. So lots of things to look at today, lots of things to try on, show you swatches, everything today. I really can't wait. I love a Chanel release. If you follow my channel, you know this is a release I always get very excited about. So I cannot wait to show you everything. And I have to say, this is one collection I have really been excited about because these colours are screaming my name. I cannot wait to try them. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 48. I'm not a professional. I'm just somebody who loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I like to show you the latest releases, my favorite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this content, I would love it ever so much if you did subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I have so many return viewers on my channel that don't necessarily subscribe. So if you could, that would be super useful to me. Thank you if you do that. I really appreciate it. If you already subscribed, thank you so much for being here. Welcome back. I really appreciate you all. And my skin type, if we're looking at matching these colours to me, I've got fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones but slightly neutral. It's a combination really. And I have combination type skin. I also have blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get straight into this video. So when I did my Will I Buy It Won't I video back in January, this blush trio I thought looked way too bold, and I didn't say I'd skip it, but I just said I wasn't very excited about it. But once I saw swatches, I became very excited about it. And also quite a lot of you commented that the jumper I was wearing that day was almost a direct match for the blush. So I've got that jumper on today, and I'm showing you the sleeve because you can't see the full jumper. But it is quite strange, isn't it? If you look at the sleeve, it's almost a match for the blush. So I've got it back on today. So maybe I should rename this top the Camellia Futura jumper. Anyway, so what am I going to start with today? I think because I've got this liquid lip, which is the really long lasting, I'm going to finish with this lip today. So I think what I'll do is sort of throughout the video try on different lips. That's a bit of a strange way of doing it, but I'd like to see it for a bit longer instead of just trying it on and wiping it straight off. So I'm going to start by applying just one of these. So these are the Rouge Coco Flash Colour Shine Intensity in a Flash. And I picked up Peachy and Rosa, two brand new shades. And these cost £42 each. And if you want some details on this, it says that these will show true colours through their transparent cap. Oh, okay. So you can see the colour of the actual product through the cap. So that's very useful if the way you store your lipstick is, you know, if you're able to view it that way. I think most of us would be able to, wouldn't we? So that is very useful actually. I do like to be able to see that, and I hadn't noticed that till I read that description. And this will apply easily over the lips and transform into a shiny oil for a sensation of absolute comfort. In a flash, it offers an intense high shine result owing to an ultra hydrating texture and glossy oil finish, selected for its ability to reflect the light. And this has a butter-like finish that melts onto the lips when applied, and a Hydro Boost complex which contains waxes from natural origin, which are mimosa, jojoba and sunflower. So this moisturises and nourishes your lips for up to 8 hours, leaving you with an intense shine. High concentration of pigment. So let's just see. And if you've been following me, you probably know that I've got a bit of an obsession when it comes to lilacs and purple, so on the lips, so I had to get this one. Now this is very shiny, and this does have an iridescent finish, so you do need to enjoy this type of finish. But for me, this is, I love stuff like this, I absolutely do. So the description of this one is pink with blue iridescence. So this could be quite a strange one, but it really piques my interest, I have to say. So I'll put some on the back of my hand to see how this shows up. Certainly not bold pigment wise. That is it, so it's not really bold. If you'd like to see it side by side with the Rouge Coco Balm, which recently released, this one is the shade 764, the Charming Lilac. Now this one's a much more rich purple. So if I show you the two side by side, there is a huge difference. They might actually be quite nice together, you know. Anyway, let me just try it on its own first. Really buttery and really hydrating. Oh, look at the sparkle on my lips. Oh, I really like that. I think I'd like to see it on top of the other one though, so I'm going to take it off and try it on top. I don't know how this will work, putting Cocoa Balm and this. It's a little bit overkill in the hydration. So there's the Charming Lilac on, which I really love. And now I'm going to put this one on top. Oh, that is a winning combination. Love it. You see, I think I would have been quite underwhelmed by this had I not already had this. So I think if you've got anything like this in your collection, this is where this will come into its own on top. I love that, I really do. And I've really enjoyed lately playing around with lots of the sort of lilac and purpley releases, like the Dior Maximizer in lilac, which also would be really nice on top of the balm now, not on top of this new one I'm just showing you today. So I will leave that on my lips for a little bit now and move straight to the eyeshadow. So keep in mind my face is very pale because in preparation for the blush I haven't put any bronze on my cheeks at all. I've just got a tiny bit on my forehead, so I'm keeping my cheeks completely free, ready for that blush. So I'm going to apply that after the eyeshadow. So let's, these long sleeves are a disaster when you've got makeup all over your desk. Knocking everything all over the place. So now let's go straight into the eyeshadow, and before I do anything, here is my swatch video.
You're something beautiful, electric chemical. You take my breath away, feel my emotions push and pull.
So as you can see, this really is something special. And this one here, which is like a mixture of a few shades really, is quite surprising because if you saw in that swatch video, it almost has a sort of brown goldy shift. Can you see that? It's completely different when you see it like that compared to that. So I really want to get quite a lot of that on the eye today so I can really see what it does. And because it's got a couple of shades, I'd like to try and get it on its own. So I'm going to try my best to do that a bit because that's made me quite curious, that one. It's almost like pink to white to brown in the whole mix. Very different. And just from swatching, I can tell you as well that the camellia flower is already starting to go, so this embossing is not going to last very long, I'm afraid. Also, this came with two brushes. I think they're both the same. Yeah, so two little sort of sponge tip applicators, which I won't be using today. And obviously it comes with the standard mirror. And this costs £60 and it is a limited edition. This is designed by the Chanel Makeup Collection Studio along with Comet Collective member Cecile Paravina. This is the Camellia Futura collection, which is offering an unexpected interpretation of the camellia. This emblematic house flower has been catapulted into a fantastical future with metallic accents, providing a fresh take on classic romanticism. Cecile Paravina has reimagined the shades of tender pink and delicate peach in a multitude of finishes. So this is inspired by the timeless beauty of the camellia and revisited from a futuristic angle. So there are 4 shades to evoke the delicate hues of the camellia petals, and they reflect the iridescent shimmer of a fantastical future, which is probably what that duochrome is all about. And this colour palette will take you on a journey and transform your eyes. The new colour harmony features 4 avant-garde eyeshadow shades, a satin bluish pink, a blue purple duochrome, even though it looked more like pinky gold on my hand. But anyway, a white highlighter with a pink shimmer and a satin taupe. Each eyeshadow is embellished with an embossed camellia design, a nod to Mademoiselle's passion for couture. And like I said, this is limited edition. So I'm sure you all know the camellia flower, and this is something very, very close to my heart. So I just wanted to share this with you. When my mum passed away, I got a camellia flower and I put some of her ashes into the plant pot. So I've got that facing me directly from my kitchen window. So every day I'm looking and sort of chatting with my mum is how it feels to me. And it honestly is the most beautiful flower in my garden. I have a few camellias, but I'll pop a picture now of Mum's camellia so you can see just how beautiful it is. And this is why this is just so close to my heart. It really does mean a lot to me. And I'll pop up some other pictures of two of my other camellias. I've got another one that's almost like a tree now. The picture I'm showing you here is actually from 2 years ago. It's got even bigger now. It's massive, and it's already in full flower here in February. It starts flowering sort of late January, that one, and then Mum's one starts to flower sort of March time, along with the other deeper red that I've shown you from my garden. But I've got three, and I've actually got a triple colour camellia planted in my front garden, which I'm waiting for it to actually have buds. It hasn't had buds because it's a baby, so I'm hoping that's going to be lovely. It's got 3 different colours apparently, and I haven't seen it yet. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I love camellias, and these colours, this colour here reminds me of Mum's camellia, so very, very special to me. Anyway, let's get straight on with trying this on. So I'll try using the Wayne Goss number 6 brush, which I've been really enjoying lately, and I'll go straight into this taupe first. So I'll use the taupe as my background basically. So this is going to go into the outer V section and into the crease and above the crease, which I can see pigment straight away, so that's good. And we know with Chanel we're not expecting high pigment ever. They're always very sort of soft colours, but usually extremely easy to apply. And so far that's starting off exactly that way. That's just gone on beautifully. There's no patchiness with these. I don't think I've ever experienced patchiness with Chanel actually, apart from that bizarre purple one that I hated, but let's forget all about that one. Chanel is really making up for it with this one. So that's building up a little bit now, and I think that's probably as much as I can build it up actually. That's probably the maximum I can get, but that is absolutely enough for a soft wash as my very sort of deepest background shade. I'm slightly just bringing it up here, and I'm also going to run this underneath as well here. So just doing exactly the same now on the other side. So now going in with the pink. So this is the one I think is most closely matched to Mum's beautiful camellia, and I really want to see this, so I'm going to go in with my finger for this one. And I'm going to take this in the sort of outer section of the mobile lid. Yeah, that's given a nice pop with my finger actually. Look at that, I can really see that. That's brilliant. I didn't expect to see that much pink. Using my little finger, I'm just blending this sort of into the crease and mixing it there into the outer V section where I've got that darker shade. Look how beautifully those two just mix together. I'm really pleased with how that is showing up, because sometimes with a light pink you just worry that they won't show up, but that really does. I'm taking a little bit of this slightly above as well, because I'd like to see this with my hooded eyes. I'd like to see the pink sort of mixed in when my eyes are looking straight at you. I'd just like to see a hint of it here, so that's what I'm doing there. And then the same on the other side. So this really is the perfect sort of spring pink, isn't it? Absolutely glorious. Gone a little bit too far over with that pink because I was trying to keep half the lid clear so I can see what this multi-chrome or duochrome looks like. So this is described as a blue purple. I'm going to take this on my little finger actually. But remember from the swatch it looked more goldy, so I'm going to be curious to see how this looks on the eye now. So I'm going to start by taking this across into the inner section of my lid, if I can speak, and then bringing it out. Oh wow, look at that. I'm bringing it to meet the pink. So looking at it straight on, I'm just seeing pink and purple. I'm not seeing anything else. Yeah, and then as I turn my eye, it becomes almost gold. I would actually prefer it if it didn't, in all honesty, because looking at it full on, this is the colour I want to see. I mean, I'm not going to be looking in mirrors like that, am I? So I won't see it going sort of gold. But do you see what I mean? If I look at you now, and as I turn my eye, it's gone a sort of gold shade. Goldy pink, maybe. Anyway, people look at you facing you, don't they? So they're more likely to see it that way. It just changes as you turn, which does give it a bit of an exciting, interesting twist, I suppose. But yeah, these two together, gosh, aren't they gorgeous? What a fantastic finish. And looking at the way these are in the pan, I'm wondering if these are baked gelée, because they really are a beautiful formula. Made in Italy, of course. And I didn't mention that you get 2 grams of product here. So I'm going to take this same shade now on the other eye. Oh wow, I've been so excited to try this eyeshadow since I first saw it, and then when I saw swatches I got more excited. If you want this palette, I would highly recommend you grab it fast, because this is limited edition, and with Chanel they really do mean it. And also I can just see this one being incredibly popular. If this doesn't sell out in a flash, I would be amazed, unless they've got a huge product amount so that they can cater to the needs. But oh, moving into spring, I can't imagine there being anything else on the market quite as attractive right now as this. I really can't. So I'm going to try now this lightest shade as my inner corner. I'm using my BK Beauty brush here, 207, and I'm going to pop this now in the inner corner. So this is given a slightly pinky white, but enough of a sort of pop, I think, for the inner corner. Yeah, it's a white highlight with a pink shimmer. So it doesn't give you that brilliant white because of the pink added in. But you could also try the same look I've just done now and skip the duochrome if you could bear to do that. And you could use this for this part of the lid, because with the pink I think these two would be lovely. So I think really you've got 2 different looks that you could try with this. And I will definitely be trying that at some point. And I'm going to try this one underneath the brow as well. Yeah, it definitely works for there. A very easy look to put together as well. Very easy. No mistakes. It's very hard to make a mistake with Chanel formulas. They blend together perfectly. They're not overly pigmented, so you don't get into any trouble. They're just super easy and beautiful. What a beautiful, elegant spring look. I love that. I really do. Gorgeous. Well, something I'm thinking of trying, but I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to swatch it first. So I picked up 2 of the new shades in the eyeshadow pens. The 3-in-1 eyeshadow kohl pencil eyeliner. So eyeshadow eyeliner kohl pencil, sorry, that's the 3-in-1. But I've got this one here, which is a satin golden mauve, and I'm wondering if this might work as a liner with this look. So I'll show you how this looks. There. A bit hard to appreciate just how pretty that is under these lights. But I'm going to try this firstly in the waterline, and I'm going to take it just a little bit underneath as well, so it's giving me that bit of shimmer in the waterline and a bit of colour underneath the eye. I think that works with it, you know. I'm going to take a little bit up here with a baby wing, and then take it tight to the lashes. Now obviously this is an eyeshadow pen as well as an eyeliner, so I'm not trying it on as an eyeshadow today, but I just wanted to see if this one would go with this look. And as a soft eyeliner, I think that really works nicely, you know. Just give me that very soft, subtle difference to this eye. So these pens are £35, and when they launched last year I picked up a few shades, really enjoyed them, ended up going back for more. That's how much I enjoyed them. These are really good, and because you've got this sort of thin tip, it's so good how it can be versatile. So you can use it on the sort of flat edge as your eyeshadow, and then you can use the fine tip as your liner. So I really like that, and it's got this sharpener here in the bottom as well. So I think this works really nicely with this palette. So I think it's a perfect match actually. And you know what I think I will do as a look next, and possibly I'm going to be doing a lipstick only video as my next review. So I might actually wear that look in that video. So I'll let you know in the details below in the video description if that's what I'm wearing. But I'm thinking this in the crease, this all over the lid and lined, and then using one of these. In fact, probably go with this one because I just can't resist trying this one. This one all over the lid, over this. and then you could use that as the inner corner. So basically I'll be using this in place of the pink here. I think that'll be a lovely look. And the other shade I picked up, which I can't try on today, but very predictable for me, I had to try this green shade. So this one is called VERT Titanium, a satin golden aqua green. So let me just swatch this to show you how it looks swatched. But I think that these two will work nicely together, the mauve and the green. I love purples and greens together. I'm not going to add it to this look because I'm not sure about with the pinks and everything, and I also love the way this is looking, so I don't want to change it, but this is how it looks here. Isn't that gorgeous? And look how pretty it is with this mauve. So I think these two together are going to be a lovely combination actually, but that's not necessarily how you have to do it. I have actually got a couple here of the Chanel single shadows, the Ombre Essential, and I think there's a few shades which I wanted to show you that would work nicely with either of these, or both in fact. So there's this one here which is the Lilas Powder number 232. This is just a matte, and I think this would work nicely mixed with these two. And another one, if you want to really go for the green, we've got two greens here. So this is the newest one, the Month Allure, which is 254. This one gives a really powerful pop of green. And then also the Jade Facette, which is the slightly lighter mint, which is probably very, very close to this new eyeshadow. In fact, I'll swatch them side by side so we can see just how close they are. So this is Jade Facette, and this is the new eyeliner pen in the shade VERT Titanium. So they are pretty similar. I'll also swatch the Month Allure as well just to see, but I'm sure that will be the deepest of the three because that was a much deeper shade of green. Yeah, so there's the Month Allure there. As soon as I'm swatching everything, I'll do a quick swatch of the Lilac Powder so you can see how that looks. But this whole, all of these together, if you bought any of these when they launched, it's not swatching very nicely the way I've done that one. These are beautiful, so I think it's more to do with what I've got on the back of my hand. But anyway, here is the Lilac, the Lilas Powder. Look at all those shades together. I think if you've got any of these, you could really play around with them. I also wanted to quickly compare the pen to the Victoria Beckham. So I've cleaned my hand off and I've just got the VERT Titanium there. And I just wanted to show you the Seafoam from Victoria Beckham. I was going to say Victoria then, honest to goodness me. So I'll just do a quick swatch so you can see, because these are, well, they'd work together actually. They're not similar. Seafoam is, even though it never comes out that bright on me, but anyway, that is Seafoam there. They would look nice together actually, so I think it's not a question of have you already got it. But there was also the Dior Matte Mint. These are liners now, not eyeshadow pens, both of these, but I just wanted to make some comparisons. So it's probably closer to the Dior Matte Mint. So here's the Dior Matte Mint, and then here is this new one from Chanel. But again, not a match, but they probably work nicely together. So I'm not finding things to put you off buying this, am I? And I just wanted to show you the other Chanel green pen, which is completely different. This is a really bright green. This is number 48. Has it got the name on it? Yeah, Dream Leaf. I always buy greens, which is why I've always got plenty to show you. This is completely different. So that's Dream Leaf. That's a really bright green. So anyway, there's some comparisons and I'm looking forward to playing with that. And like I said, I think my next video, I'll probably play around with using, not the green actually, but this mauve. I'm going to use this mauve. I'm going to use it instead of the pink for exactly the same look in my next video. So look out for that. I'm hoping my next video is going to be the Dolce & Gabbana liner and lipstick sets that have just come out, so I will wear that look in that video. So anyway, it's time to try on this blush, but before I do that, I'll just pop off camera and add some mascara. So I've put some mascara on and now I've taken my lip shade off because I want to try the other shade I picked up in this Coco Flash. So this, I've gone for both of the ones with all the shine because that's what appeals to me personally. So this is Peachy, a peach with a golden green iridescence. So quite a strange one this, and I wonder how much this one will show up, but I'll show you how this looks on the back of my hand. There, can you see it catching in the light? You can see the green there, can't you? Very odd. But anyway, let's see what it looks like on the lips. I think because this has that sort of green, you can really see this turning up on the lip a lot more. I do like something that really shows up with the shimmer, and that really shows up. Let me do a close-up for you. I like that one on its own, you know, I really like it, but I want to see how this looks on top. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did with the other one, with the newest Cocoa Balm that I picked up. This one is which has also got a shine in it, so I'm really going to be shining from the heavens. This one is the Honey Bliss. So I think they're probably quite a nice pairing if I show you them side by side. So there's Honey Bliss with this one as the topper. So let's see how that looks. So this is just Honey Bliss, and then I'll top it with this new one here, the Coco Flash in Peachy. Oh yeah, I think that works, you know. Oh, I love these combinations. Now obviously it's quite pricey to get both of these together. It's just if you happen to collect Chanel and you pick things up from collections, and you just so happen to pick up this one from the last release, which I've already forgotten the name of, the Honey Bliss. I love both Honey Bliss and that lilac one, I love them. But topped with this, I just love it. I just think they're really good. That's definitely how I'll be using it. I mean, I'm not just going to use it with the Honey Bliss. I think this will make a great topper on top of lots of sort of browny pinks and general nude shades, browns. I think they're the only ones I would use it on because of that shift. And then the lilac one, I'd probably try on top of pinks as well as on top of lilacs. Oh, I love that. Really pleased, really, really pleased. So now let's look at this blush, and before I do anything, here's my swatch video.
You're something beautiful, electric chemical. You take my breath away, feel my emotions push and pull. Shooting stars in your eyes, you're bringing me to life.
So you can see this one comes with the brush, which is okay for travel, but not a brush I choose to use with these. And it just has a removable plastic section there for you to get to this beautiful blush. This one does have a much more deep embossing, so I think it'll last a bit longer than the eyeshadow, which is good. And then we've got the 3 shades, and as you saw from swatching, these really are 3 shades, and these could be 3 shades on the eyes. I think this one would be quite good as the crease shade, this one for the first section of the lid, and then this one for all over the rest of the lid. So you could definitely have a completely cohesive look for cheeks and eyes, and maybe top it with that fancy duochrome from the eyeshadow if you've got it, or just use a highlighter on top as well would be another way of doing it. But one of the ways I want to try this first is to see if I can apply the 3 shades individually on one side, and on the other side I'll swirl them together. And I'm going to use my Sonia G, what's it called, this tiny brush, which is really good for getting into palettes that are small. The Cheeque Pro, I think it's called. I can never read it because it's black writing on brown. It's so hard to see. The Classic Cheeque. So Sonia G Classic Cheeque. And this is just about the right size for getting in, just about, if you want to try and get them individually. And just before I apply it, this reminds me a lot of the Sunset Blush trend, which I happened to love last year. In fact, I filmed a look I did with the Sunset Blush trend, so I'll just put that video up on screen now, and you can see that's using liquids, and it's using a gold highlighter across the top section, so it's not exactly the same, but this sort of bronzy type of peach. Is it bronzy peach or pink? I'm not sure really. I'll go through the details of it now, but that reminds me of it, and you can see what I mean when you see the way it blends out. So I'm sort of hoping I can create something a bit similar to this when I do the 3 individually, so it'll give you that sort of ombre of sunset shades. So some information on this. This is designed by the Chanel Makeup Creation Studio along with Comet Collective member Cecile Paravina. The Camellia Futura collection offers an unexpected interpretation of the camellia. That's exactly the same description I read you with the eyeshadow, by the way. So the emblematic houseflower catapulted into a fantastical future with metallic metallic accents. So that's probably repeated everything again, but we are now looking at the heart of this collection, which is this. And this is an exclusive creation, and this is a blush trio featuring 3 mattes, soft pink, coral pink and apricot. So it's the apricot that's got that sort of brownie note. And this enhances your complexion, accentuates the cheekbones and illuminates the high points of the face. So in theory, I don't need a highlighter, maybe. The Camellia Futura blush trio is embossed with a camellia design, which we've already seen. It has a fine and silky texture, and the powder melts onto the skin, complete with a brush, which we've obviously just seen, which I won't be using. And this is also a limited edition. So it does say, use the provided blush to apply each shade. So obviously with the provided brush, it's easier to get into each one individually. So the brush is quite useful for that, but I'm still going to go with my Sonia G. So I'm going to start with the lightest here, and I'm going to try and get quite a lot, because when I swatched it, I went over it again and again and again to get that much shade in my swatch video. So just for you to know, that wasn't just my initial swatch in the swatch video, that was after I went over it a number of times, because these are not massively pigmented. So if I get quite a lot on the brush, and we get this lightest pink, and what I'm going to do with this is take this all over the cheek, just that lightest pink. You can see I've gone over and over and over, and I've really got the lightest dusting of a pale pink, which is why I got this. Well, it's why I was excited about getting this, because like I said, when I saw these colours, I thought that these were going to be only suitable for really dark skin tones and they weren't going to suit me. So I wasn't really looking forward to it. So it's great news for me, but it's not great news if you've got deeper skin tones, because I don't know if this will show up on you as well. But then we do have the darkest shades, and you could build those up more. So maybe in a way this could be played around with and modified to suit your skin tone. So like with me, I'm having a lot of the light shade and I'm having a lot less of the deep. But if you had a deeper skin tone, you could do it in reverse and then use the lighter one to sort of highlight on the top. So hopefully you'll find that lots of different depths of skin tone will still be able to get something from this. So if you do have a darker skin tone, I'd love to know, if you get this, how you get on with it. So now let's go into this middle one. This is the coral pink. So now I'm taking this sort of in the center here, skipping that inner part, and I'm just going to concentrate it there. Then you can see the 2 different shades. Wow, they look lovely together, don't they? And they're blending together beautifully. No patchiness. Oh, that is stunning, stunning. And that's enough for me. I didn't need to build up as much, again, because it is so much darker. And now for this one, which is the deepest, the apricot. And I'm going to take this one on the upper section of my cheek. So I'm getting that ombre effect. It's working, it's really working. Oh, wow, I love that. I really like it like that. I mean, I'm looking forward to trying them all together, but wow, I love that ombre effect. And it was so quick and easy. Very, very quick and easy. I'll just take a little bit of the lightest one, just to sort of go over here, because when I've got blush coming up here, which I like to do, I don't like it to be too dark. And now I'm going to use my favourite blush brush, the Rapper release from the holidays, and I'm going to swirl through all 3 now to try on the other side and try it all in one. And you can see from swirling through all of them how much I picked up the first time. Very, very little. This is definitely something that can be built up and not remotely scary, which for me is my preference. Or something I love about Chanel. Some people don't love that, but I love the fact that it's buildable, because I've got fair skin, and if you go in and it's too deep, it can be a real problem. So now that's the 3rd time building it up, and look how these all look together. Look how much more I've got there though from doing it that way. This is giving me a much more soft, sort of elegant flush of colour in a way. I've got to say, I prefer doing it that way. I love that. Both ways though, beautiful. That's giving a lovely colour and very spring-like, very spring to summer, isn't it? And bringing this into the eye so it meets together. This side is definitely a lot more bold. But it is bringing a lot of shine, isn't it, considering they're mattes? They are definitely quite luminous, aren't they? And you don't need a highlighter. I really don't think you do, because you can see I'm getting quite a bit of shine. So which side do you prefer? Mixed together? Or that ombre effect? I love that ombre effect, I really love it, so that's my favourite, but I will probably use it for both. And unlike the collection that launched last, which had the 4 highlighters, which I haven't really gone back and used because I just didn't enjoy it, I can see me using this all the time. I can see this becoming a staple, I really can. And what I want to do, quickly before I move on to the next product, just in case you picked up last year's products, I just wanted to show you side by side some of the products you might have got last year to see if they're similar. So we did have this blush and highlight duo last year. So this is gold and peach. So I don't think that any matches really there because the peach is not the same as this central coral here, and obviously it came with a highlighter, so I think it's pretty different to that one. And I think it's going to be the same story for the other one I'm going to show you, because these are totally different shades. This is the light and berry, and there's no shades at all that remotely match there either. So if you've got those, you don't have this basically. But one you might be more curious about was this duo. This was the Roses Coquillage. I think this was last year and not the year before. I can't quite remember, but there could be a bit of similarity between these two if I look at the bottom 2 shades. So I'll just do a quick swatch of that. So I'm just going to swatch these 2 here. So this is the older one here, and this is the new one. So they are quite similar, although I have to say I think the powders in the new one are nicer. They're more of a soft powder, a more soft silky finish, whereas these ones are very, very dry and more matte. I think these ones are just more silky soft and a bit more of a luminous finish. These ones are just very matte. But colour wise, if you've got this, the only thing you're missing really is this apricot. So you might not need to get this if you picked this one up when it came out, unless you want to go for it for that sort of slightly different finish. But anyway, and the other comparison I could show you is the massive one that came out last year, which I loved. And I picked this one up. This is the Lait Beige in Light Coral. So if we look at these two side by side, now obviously we've got a bronze in the middle, not an apricot, but as you can see, there's just no crossovers here at all. So the coral, I could just show you quickly if the coral is in any way similar to this one. So here is the coral shade from that Lait Beige trio, and here are the pink, here's the pink and the coral here. So the coral is a richer coral, but not massively dissimilar to the new one, I suppose. So you've just got one shade from there, but just in case, if you're just looking for one or you think you can recreate this by using other ones, I just wanted to give you some ideas there in case you don't want to get this, but you like the colours. So I don't think this needs any sort of highlight. I think it looks absolutely perfect on its own, but I am going to add some sort of highlight because I also picked up the Fluid ILLUMINEUR. ILLUMINEUR, is that what it's called? ILLUMINEUR. I think that's how I'd pronounce that. I am useless. Iridescent Illuminating Fluid. Now, I believe this is part of this collection because on the Chanel UK website this popped up as new with the new collection items, but I could be wrong because I haven't seen it advertised with this collection. It just popped up as new since the launch of the Cocoa Bombs, which I just showed you. So they were the most recent launch along with the 4 highlights, and this is coming up as new, and it literally came out the same day for me. So this is something you can use in multiple ways, but today I'll try this on the top of my cheeks as a highlighter. So this, again, designed by the same collection, so I'm not going to read out the same description. So this, oh actually this is saying this is part of the Camellia Futura collection, so I didn't need to go into all that with you. This is part of that collection. So this gives you a soft pink illuminating fluid with a green shimmer, which instantly enhances the face with a subtle veil of pearlescent light. Its lightweight formula blends seamlessly into the skin for optimal comfort and a radiant complexion, and this is limited edition. And you can put this on the tops of the cheekbones, bridge of the nose and chin to add hints of light. Tap in with your foundation brush or your fingers and blend out the edges. Or for a luminous complexion, you can apply this directly to the skin underneath your foundation. And you can also apply this one to your shoulders and your neck area to intensify a glow. So there's lots of different ways to wear this, a bit similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless in the way you use it, but I don't think it's very similar in terms of how this will look. So this is for emphasizing and highlighting the higher points of the neck bones, which I can't show you right now, but it could be good for that. So this cost £48. I'm trying to see on the bottom how much you get with it because the writing is tiny. Let's put my humongous, ridiculous glasses on and see if I can see what it says. 12-month shelf life, made in France. I can't see, oh here we are, 30 millilitres. It's amazing how much I can see when I put these on. How bonkers do they look? Anyway, let's get on to trying this. So I'll open this up. This has got a pump. So I'll put some on the back of my hand. To give you an idea of the thickness, it's not sort of running down my hand. I did say there's a green shift in this, which is quite bizarre, isn't it? I suppose it is a bit of a green shift, but that seems so odd. Let's just trust the process. Let's try this. Let's tap this here. I'm going to just tap it with my fingers, I think. Wow, that has given me a lot. Let me get my brush. My 109 brush from BK Beauty. To calm that down a bit by patting it in. That's better. With the fingers it looks completely nuts. That really is giving me quite a lot of shine. I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest. It's slightly taken away the pink. Rather than just sitting on top of it, it's slightly changed the pink. And is that because it's given that green shift? I don't love the way this looks on my complexion either. It's just a little bit too obvious. It's almost like I can see a thick makeup, if you know what I mean. I don't know, it's hard for me to describe. I really don't want to ruin this side, but anyway. We're committed now. So I'll put less on this side and I'll just go in with the brush. We'll see what it does. I don't think you've got an awful lot of time because can you see my fingerprint is still there, so I'm having to work it. So I wouldn't leave this on too long. Definitely do one side at a time. I prefer it on that side. In fact, I much prefer it on that side. Maybe it's just because I applied too much. That's why it looked odd, because this side, I really like that. Can't see a green shift. I think it looks better on top of a richer blush. I think that's definitely something. So if you've got a super light blush, which is, I mean this isn't super light, but I do think it looks better on top of the rich shade. But I also think that it's sitting much more nicely, and I just put less product on. Here I've just got a bit too much and it's gone too much down my cheek, and so totally ignore what I've said about this side because that's to do with me not applying this correctly. It's a completely new product to me, but I really like the way that looks there actually. I think that looks quite natural, and I'm not seeing that green, but the green must be what helps to really pick up the light. Can you see any green? Be interesting to see now on camera how this comes across. So I've still got some on the back of my hand from that one pump, and I certainly don't want any more. So let's try a little bit down the nose. Quite nervous not to go mad with this. Now that's, you just literally need that tiny bit. So I've got this pump on the back of my hand and I'm going like this, really working it out. I'll put some there, both the Cupid's bow. And then I'll take it on the brush and just take a bit here. Oh yeah, I really like that. That definitely works nicely. So that is how I would do it. Put a pump on the back of the hand, maybe work it into the hand, get it on the brush, and then go. For the smoothest type of application, even dotting it on with the fingers is probably not the way to go. Do it like this. And just go on. And it's much more smooth. So I really do like that very much. So there we go. So that started off disaster and it's finished a success, so that's good. What do you think? I'm definitely going to try this one underneath as well, the way I use the Charlotte Tilbury. So if I'm using maybe more of a matte finish, or I'm wearing a lot of powder, which I do tend to do, and I just want that glow to come through, then I could put quite a lot of this on the cheeks before applying the foundation and then see if it brings the glow through. So I'm definitely going to play around with this one and watch out for my end of month review. We are getting quite close to the end of February. I don't know whether I'll have tried it enough for it to be my end of Feb review or my end of March, but anyway. Possibly you'll see it again in the February favourites video and updates, so do look out for that. Anyway, we've just got one thing left to try, so let me take off this lipstick so I can try this Rouge Allure. So these are £42. This is not a new release, but we've got new shades. There's 3 new limited edition shades. The 2 I didn't get were 95 Spell, which is a deep red, 97 Irel, I don't know how that's pronounced, which is a dusty orange. So the one I've picked up is 96 AVANT GARDISTE, and this is a metallic hot pink. So this could be a bit wild, but I do like the words metallic and pink. The hot bit worries me a tiny bit. So this is a very long lasting liquid. I think this is their most long lasting formula. That doesn't look like a hot pink to me at all. This looks so much nicer than I feared. In fact, it looks beautiful. Look at that. That looks gorgeous, doesn't it? I think I'll just go in with a little bit of liner. I'm trying a new one at the moment from Swede. This is the Barely There. So as it says, Barely There. You shouldn't really see this, but I've got very small lips, so just give me a bit of a natural line. So you can see this is just giving me a natural lip line. It's actually really perfect, this one. So I'll pop a link for this below, Swede Beauty. I know that I'm not reviewing Swede right now, but it's just a new one I'm testing out and I'm really enjoying. Plenty of longevity, very easy to apply, and a perfect shade for when you don't want that liner to be too obvious. And Swede have recently given me a 20% off code, so I will also put that with the link to get that if you're interested in it. Anyway, let's get on with this beautiful looking Chanel liquid lip here. Oh wow, look at that. Do you know, when I saw this, I thought I really want this, but when I read the description, metallic hot pink, I thought, oh, have I made a mistake? But the picture of it, I thought the colour looked beautiful, because this doesn't, to me, look like a hot pink. Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And this is a lovely combination to go with the entire look today, I think, isn't it? Oh, that is stunning. That is absolutely stunning. What a perfect way to finish this gorgeous collection off, because it really is a beautiful, beautiful collection. It has completely fulfilled all of my hopes and dreams and possibly surpassed them ever so slightly, because look at that. It is just stunning. I love it. I'd love to know what you think, but wow, I cannot say a bad word about anything I've tried on. I nearly thought that that liquid highlighter was going to be a total disaster, but now I absolutely love it. I really, really love everything. I mean, the eyeshadow look, and look for a Chanel eyeshadow look. Look how much I've got. Look at the sort of impact I'm getting. So it's not one of these super, super subtle looks, depending on how you apply it though. I did use my fingers and I did apply a lot, so you could apply it more softly than I have. But when you really go for it, especially with fingers, which tend to give more with these sorts of finishes, look what you get. And then the blush, I think the blush is stunning, particularly applying it in that ombre effect. So if you have a small brush, I would definitely recommend trying it, or maybe even try it with the brush that came with it, because that will allow you to go into each section, because I love that ombre look. I think that's the nicest way to wear it. But all together as well, it gives a beautiful shade, it really does. I love that. And the lips, I love these as toppers. That's certainly how I'll be using these, as toppers. I mean, it's a bit expensive really when you think that's the only thing I'm using it for, but I think both of these shades will work really nicely on top of lots of different lipsticks, so I can get a lot of use out of them. I've just picked up the liquid one when I was saying that. This is the one I'm referring to. But yeah, both of those really, really beautiful. And I can't wait to play around actually with this new illuminator, because I'm really happy with the way that looks, but I do want to know, will I see it if it's underneath everything? Will I see the shine, and will it be enough for me to think I don't need highlighter today? But I like it so much on top. I can imagine this definitely being used with me as a highlighter. I love that finish. It's strange how much I hated it there. Do not over apply this, because if you over apply it, especially when you're my age and you've got more texture, it starts to come lower down the cheek. It doesn't look good. I would not be putting this all over the face. Put this on the high points, whether it's under foundation or not, if you're my age, which is nearly 50 or over, would be my advice anyway. But use properly, which I think I did here. I think it's gorgeous. So yeah, And the eyeshadow pens, obviously I haven't tested them enough, but I think that the shade I've used, that Mauve, is beautiful, and I love the way it looks with this eyeshadow. I can't wait to try out that green one as well. I'll probably film a shorts reel trying out the green and probably mix it up with one of their powders. Maybe mix it with the purple or try the Mauve and the green together, because I do love purples and greens together on the eyes. So there we go. That is the entire Chanel collection reviewed, and I cannot say anything bad about anything. I have absolutely loved everything. I would love to hear your thoughts. Are you excited about this collection? Are you picking any of it up, or does this just not appeal to you in the slightest? Whatever your thoughts are, I would absolutely love to hear them. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. I would love it ever so much if you did subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, you are at the end of another review, and I appreciate you so much for being here. And I do hope to see all of you again for my next video. Take care everybody. Bye.